Okay, good morning, everybody. Hope everybody is well. Another incredible day. The week is speeding past us for those that are joining us live. Good morning. Thank you so much for being with us. Those that are watching it later on, thank you for doing so. Good morning to Andy, our phenomenal producer. We've been talking a lot about this idea of understanding who we are. It's critical to understand who we are, to know what we're after. If we live our lives and we don't really have a sense that our true essence is being satisfied, we can be successful in life, and we can be successful at our goals and unsuccessful at life. There's a stark realization that people have later on in their lives that lots of what they were pursuing may have been meaningless. I had this experience in 2009. I had a meeting with an individual who was a very wealthy man. And in order to amass his wealth, he gave up everything else. He gave up his family. He gave up watching his kids grow up. He gave up his religion. He gave up he gave up everything to amass what was a small fortune. And for somebody who came from very little, which this man came from, that was like his focus. That was his thing. And I watched a man whose life was dedicated towards amassing wealth, and he had put it in certain stocks and in certain real estate properties. And in 08, 09, if you remember the 08, 09 like recession, it wiped him out. And it was so sad, not because he lost money, because he was realizing that so much of his life was lost. And now he didn't even have the money.
We cannot hear you.
Am I back?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. Some technical difficulties with my camera. It became such an incredible part of his life that he realized afterwards that it wasn't that he had lost the money, it was that he had lost a piece of his life. We have to fight for what's at our core. We have to fight for what we're looking for in life. And so to understand that, we went through the self-determination theory. Self-determination theory is a theory that helps us understand what we're after in life, the psychological nutrients, if you will, designed to enable us to feel good no matter what we're doing. It's how we breathe. And yesterday we began to delve into each one. We started talking about the idea of significance, mastery, the desire for a human being to feel like they're getting better at something in life. Where does that come from? Well, it comes from the concept that each of us knows that we're something really valuable inside us. There's something really special that came out, that we have, that's within us. And when you go through this world, there's this sense that I have to achieve it. I have to touch it. God created us with a soul. The brain is the computer. The brain is what we do to navigate through our lives. The soul is who we are. The soul comes from an infinite source, which means that at our core, our value is infinite. And we know it. We sense it. We feel it. We can't articulate it, but there's something very real about it. That's why those kids seem to be able to constantly get up and keep on at it. No one has to tell a little kid to go out and like play toys and have fun and create and use imagination, there's a sense that little kids have that there's something unique about them. There's something powerful about them. When you watch kids play, when you watch kids learn how to grow, they're not like, I'm going to fail. Watch a 3-year-old. He's not like, this is stupid. 2-year-olds aren't like, I can't climb the ladder because I'm going to fall. All of that energy, it comes from this. They're not articulate yet. Their brains, their computers don't have any programming that says you're going to fail. So they're just all soul. They can't express it at that level. There's a selfishness to them, like we spoke about last time, but there's a piece of them that still is bigger than themselves. But we come from the ground. We come from dirt. God created us to have our origins be very low on purpose. God could have made us a congealed angel. We could have floated down from the sky. That wouldn't have been any harder for God than forming us from the dust of this earth. He did it on purpose because that's the challenge of life. He did it on purpose because that's what we're after. We're after this growth, this evolution. That's what makes life exciting. It's that it's not handed to us on a silver platter. It's that we have to grow. We have to become significant. We have to try to find what's inside us and make it bigger and make it better. So how do we do it? So this is what we're talking about. So let's begin. Let's sort of delve into how this works. If you remember, we spoke a lot about this idea of neuroplasticity. And what that means that our brains are computers that operate based on what is exposed to it. So if I'm exposed to English, I speak English. And if everyone in my family is a lawyer, I'll be more inclined to being a lawyer. If when I was 10 years old, I ran a lemonade stand and my mom stopped by and said, wow, you're such an entrepreneur, most likely I'll do something else that's entrepreneurial. My brain is reacting to the world around us. So I want to marry two concepts and show how lots of us operate. In concept one, there is this need, a psychological and a spiritual need to transcend the dirt in which I come from. Inside me is a piece of God. I've come, so to speak, even though I personally didn't, there's a piece of me that has sort of a more animalistic, not animal as a bad thing, animal as a thing that is just more connected than a human to nature. There's a piece of me that comes from the ground. I also, there's a piece of me that comes from God. And the evolution of whether or not I'm going to incline towards the things that are very lowly, that are very material and natural, versus the things that are very lofty, that's the feeling that I have of wanting to be significant. I want to feel like I'm growing. I want to feel like I'm achieving a mastery. I want to feel like I'm doing something in this world. It doesn't feel good to sit on the couch all day. As much as comfort is that first feeling, it doesn't feel good. It feels good to do more. I want to feel that. And I get a high. So if I sit on the couch because I've been told that I'm nothing and someone hands me controllers, at least I get a high out of the game in front of me. Right? And if I can't do it with my wife, but I can do it with my friends and a team, I'll get it there. But I want to feel like I'm growing. If I can marry that with everything that I'm exposed to is what I think is important, neuroplasticity, what gets formed is the counterfeit path to significance. The path to significance is a spiritual path. But along the way, the micro societies that we're in tell us, hey, if you want to feel significant, can I show you how? Can I show you how? If you want to feel significant, let me show you how significance works here. Significance is based on letters after the subjects that you take. The more, the better the letter. Not the more you know, the more significant you are. Okay, some people live in that world. Some people live in a world where the amount of money you have is how significant you are. It's not even the money you have. It's the amount of money you spend. So we can tell by the size of your home. We can tell by the model of your car. We can tell by the brands that you wear. We can tell by what's on your business card. For some people, significance is certain professions. If you're this, this, or this, then you're significant. If you do this for a living, then you're less. Every micro society teaches us what they think is significant, what their trophies are. For some, a trophy is the Lombardi trophy, and significance is winning a Super Bowl. For some, the trophy is their wife. For some people, their husband or their wife is just a walking, living, talking, breathing trophy. They've objectified their spouses. For some people, it's their children. And if their children end up in a specific way, they can look back and they've trophyized, a word we just made up here on our show, their own family members. They're not doing it on purpose. They don't even know what's happening. It's just the combination between I want to be significant and here's what society tells me significance is. It's not even conscious. It's not even conscious. That kid who's cheating on a test because they want to get into a better college, they know what they're doing is cheating is wrong, but they don't really understand that the reason why they got to get into that college is because what they're really searching for is significance. And in their micro society, that college is significant. And when they dip underneath a level of colleges, it's less significant. And they'll know because when they walk around their society and someone goes, "Where'd you go to college?" They're like, "Here." They're like, "Oh." There are people sitting in offices right now hating their jobs because they're in a job that's important to society. And society tells them that, and they get a benefit for that because people go, "What do you do for a living?" "Oh, really? Oh, nice." And they'll justify it. "Well, then now my kids will get married easier." We're living a life this way. I got a call from a guy once. I'll never forget. He needed advice as to how to restart his company. His company was going bankrupt, or he was out of money. It was a tough situation. I was trying to help him, and then at the end, he says to me, "Okay, I'll call you next week." I said, "Wait, why? Let's work this through." He goes, No. I'm going to Florida with my family." I'm like, "Wait, you told me that you don't have any money." He goes, "Yeah, I know, but I go to Florida. I mean, I can't not take my kids to Florida. What are people going to say if I'm like, but how are you paying for it?" He goes, "I'm borrowing." I'm like, "You're borrowing money to take your family on a 1-week vacation?" He goes, "Yeah, I mean," I'm like, "I get it. That's your trophy. Where you go on vacay." And we have to understand, we can look around, but we all have this. We got to pick up that mirror, look ourselves in the eyes and say, stop kidding ourselves. What part of my life am I doing so that someone else looks at me and goes, "You're significant"? How much of my life have I given to other people to tell me that they're significant? And to the extent in which I can be honest with myself, to the extent in which I could, just in a quiet moment, recognize it, it'll give me an incredible amount of clarity. You see, this is where the ideal day and the eulogy start to work together. Because a lot of times in our ideal day, what we're doing is saying, I want to be society significant. I'm running this, I'm doing this, life is perfect, I look amazing, I got all this, I got all that, I got all this, I got all that, things feel great. And when you get to the eulogy part, now you get to the real stuff. Because a lot of that stuff falls away. A lot of that stuff really doesn't matter. You see, death is a scary thing. We should all live to 120. But the recognition of mortality actually reminds us what's really important. There's a great thing I want to read to you today from the book. It's a great thing. It's from research from a man named Irving Yalom. He interviewed terminally ill cancer patients. And here's what he found. An open confrontation with death allows many patients to move into a mode of existence that is richer, than one that they experienced prior to their illness. Many patients report dramatic shifts in life perspective. They're able to trivialize the trivial, to assume a sense of control and stop doing things, here it is, that they do not wish to do, to communicate more openly with family and close friends, and to live entirely in the present rather than the future and the past. Over and over, we hear our patients say, why do we have to wait until now, till we are riddled with cancer, to learn how to value and appreciate life? This is the work of greatness. Why do we have to wait to realize that a lot of what we're chasing is really just so someone else thinks we're significant? Now, here's the problem. It'll never make us feel significant. Our soul could care less about a trophy. Our soul could care less about whether somebody else pats us on the back. Our soul comes from a place of truth. And you can be standing on the top of a podium with the whole world cheering your name. And in your heart, you feel like, I'm a faker. This happens to celebrities a lot. When they're not fully worked out internally and the world applauds them and they deep down can't handle it. Because in order to feel really significant, the measure is not what people are telling you. The measure is something entirely different. The measure of significance in the spiritual world is based on what you're giving, not what you're getting. The people that are truly significant, the way the soul feels significant is when the soul feels that I have given more value than I am taking. That I have taken the blessings that God has given me and I've managed to give them to other people. Give somebody $1 and it feels 1,000,000,000 times better than taking $1 for somebody else. Hold the door for someone behind you and it feels 1,000,000 times better than walking in the door that somebody holds for you. Smile at somebody that's having a bad day and watch them smile back feels 1,000,000,000 times better than having a bad day yourself and having someone have to smile for you. It's counterintuitive to the physical world. The physical world says, take, win. The winner is the one that is supposed to have the most stuff. The physical world sees competition as an end into itself. It's just to win that matters. The game is the journey of winning. The spiritual says competition is only for yourself. The only reason why competition makes sense is because it allows you to draw something inside you that's greater than you could draw on an earlier to ultimately share with somebody else. You can win a game if it's basically a fight of overcoming your own deficiencies. The goal isn't to beat somebody else. The goal, you can play in competition, but the essence of competition is how I bring out the greatness in myself. I got to step on someone else to feel good. I got to outplay somebody else to feel good. I have to make myself win so that everyone can look at me and go, you're significant. And we all have this. This is called life. This is the world that we live in. This is the neuroplasticity that we have. This is why we got to keep on getting more stuff. I had a friend of mine that this once, it's a shame. It's not a shame or not, but I had a friend of mine who made a lot of money young. Dropped out of college, one of those guys, dropped out of college, businesses, whatever it was. He became very wealthy, very young, self-made. And I'll never forget, 5-10 years later, he says to me, I thought it'd be easy by now. Every level that he climbed, he just had more people that played at that level. So his first time sitting first class, he was like, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. Now he's like, if I can't fly private, I'm like, I feel like I'm losing because all my friends are flying. And I'm like, wait, all you've done is increase your need for more stuff. It never ends. It never ends until we stop it. We can have stuff. We can buy nice things. We can live nicely. We can wear clothes that we think make us look good. But the purpose of my existence needs to be to create value for other people. And if that's my purpose, which we'll talk again tomorrow, you know what I feel? Significant. Because my soul goes, you finally got it. And whether they notice it, whether they don't notice it, whether they give us a trophy or they don't, we walk into school and we kill ourselves and we know that subject backwards and forwards, whether they slap us with a C or an A, who cares? But when we got to fight everybody else for significance, we will claw, we will steal, we will cheat, we'll kiss up, we'll do whatever it takes. When we become givers, we start to delve into here. And we start looking around at the world and we're like, everybody, can you relax a drop? Relax. Who you are, the be, is not based on what the world tells you who you are. Or we'll keep on going. Sorry about that technical thing. I don't know what's going on here, but maybe we'll figure it out one day. Either way, thanks for listening. Thanks for being a part of it. Have an incredible day. And with God's help, I cannot wait to speak to you again tomorrow. Have a great day.